So now that we've learned about sending parameters into a function, we're actually going to update this happy birthday function that this happy birthday program that we already created. So this you created in the previous lesson. Notice how we have our main function here that runs the main bulk of the program. And then we have a small function named happy that actually prints off a little statement that says happy birthday to you. So what we're going to do this time is we're going to make a sing function. So I'm going to go down here. I'm going to move this over a little bit so you can see. And we're going to create a sing function. So here I'm going to put another line of comments with those hashtags so you can see that there's a different function happening. And this is going to sing happy birthday to a person. So what we're going to do here is we're actually going to create a program that will sing happy birthday to a person multiple times. So we have this sing function. And then what I have to think through is, do I want this sing function to take in any parameters? And remember that parameters are values that the function needs in order to run. And since I'm going to sing happy birthday to a person, it's going to take in the parameter of a person's name. So I can name this whatever I would like. I can use the word name. However, sometimes that can get confusing to have name here and name here. So I'm just going to do this as persons or person name. So this needs to take in a parameter of a person's name. So it needs to take in a string. So I like making notes above my definition so that I know exactly what this function is going to do. So once I get the name of the person, I want it to sing. So this program is really going to run this code here. I'm going to copy that in there and delete it out of this part here, delete it out of my main. So really what's going to happen here is I'm going to call the happy function 3 times from here, and I'm going to print out the person's name. Now I can no longer use name here because what the person's name is going to be when it enters into this sing function. So whenever I send a name in here, it's going to assign that to the variable of person name. So we're going to need to put that here. So notice the slight differences here. If I want to use a name here, I don't have to prompt them for the name inside of the function itself, but I do have to make sure I use the correct variable name. So now what I'm going to do up here is I'm going to use this sing function to sing to multiple people. So I am still going to ask the user for their name, and I'm going to sing it to them. So notice here, I'm saying sing, and I'm sending in this variable name of name. So what this is going to do is it's going to sing happy birthday to the name entered into the program. So notice here it says, what is your name? That's saved inside the variable of name. I'm sending that value into this definition of sing. So what's going to happen when this program runs, it's going to take whatever name is entered, send it in here, and it's going to be rewritten under the variable name personal name or person name, and then it's going to run and sing happy birthday to them. Now I can also send in separate strings, so I could sing happy birthday to Jack, and I could sing happy birthday to Taylor, and I could sing happy birthday to Melissa. I can sing happy birthday to as many people as I would like, as long as I'm consistently sending in a string variable or a string value in some way. So notice here I sent in a string variable name, which has a string value saved in it. And here I'm sending in an actual string value. Now, if I run this program, what you're going to see is it still asks me for my name, and then it sings happy birthday to all of the other people that I wanted to sing to. Now here, this is a little tricky. It's not really printing off nicely because I can't read and separate it out. But what I could do here is I could add this into my sing function. So I only have to type that line of code once. And now if I run it, and there it goes. So it repeats this section of code. So notice that my main function up here is pretty small. It's only a couple lines of code, but I'm consistently reusing repeated lines of code. If I want to sing to 4 different people, it makes sense to write it once and reuse it. So just to kind of recap what we've done here, We're using the sing function 4 times because that's a repeated act of code. I would be repeatedly typing this out, which would be very time consuming if I didn't write it as a function. The sing function needs to take in a string value. So here I'm sending in a string value by using a variable name. Here I'm just typing in a string value. You can do it either way. When these values are sent in here, person name is assigned to whatever value is sent in, and it sings happy birthday to the person's name that is inside of those parentheses when the function is called. And then it will do that repeatedly as many times as I call sing. So I could sing happy birthday to, I could do Natalie, I could do Alec, I could do Michael. And instead of having to type the same happy birthday code this many times, if I run it now, just by having that function, it'll sing it that many times. So functions are a really, really great way to reuse sections of code. And remember, in case you forgot, it's this little guy at the end that makes the whole thing run. So if your program's not running at all, make sure that you have this main function, this main code at the end, because this runs the entire main, which then is able to call the different many functions we have written.